There are literally 30 different double die varieties for this date. But why did this one particular double die sell for $14,400 and broke an auction record for this particular double die? Well, stay tuned because we are going to talk about that and show some of these double dies in this video. But first, if you have a question about a coin or a question about coin collecting, please come over here to Coin Help You Community and post an image front and back of your coin, one coin per topic, or just ask your question. We'll do the best we can to answer it. It's so much easier when we can see images over here on Coin Help You Community. I really can't help with all the questions I'm seeing on the YouTube comments. There's just no way I can answer all those questions. But if you come over here to Coin Help You Community and post an image, it's so much easier. So you can do a Google search for Coin Help You Community and it'll come up, or click the link in the description or in a pinned comment on my videos. So here is the double die that I'm talking about. It's the FS101. The FS stands for Fivaz and Stanton. Those two guys are one of the world's leading experts on die varieties, and they catalog all of these varieties. So they put FS and then 101 and then 102, and it depends on the die pairs that struck the coins. Now, Stanton is no longer with us, but Bill Fivaz, he is, and we've actually emailed back and forth, and he sent me materials for my videos and some advice. Now, literally, and I mentioned this in a previous video, there's at least 30. There's probably more because there's a lot of Master Hub double dies for this date. So you can find little minor double dies, but if you want to find the double dies with the money, then you have to look for certain die pairs. And we're going to talk about those. But first, let's just take a look at this double die that I own personally. I took some high-res images to share with everyone, and it is a beautiful coin. So let's look at this. We can go in and zoom on the date and literally look at this double die, almost as large as your screen, half the size of my screen. You can actually, let's pretend that this is just an overlay, because that's basically what it looks like. And I have two coins that I imposed on top of each other in Photoshop, and that's what I'm using here. And I can actually rotate one and the other. I can show you that and do it, but if you were able to separate these two squeezes, because these dies, these double dies like this, are created by two squeezes where they try to create the working die from the working hub. But if you could do that, you'd have two different coins here. That's very important to understand. Now, it's not always the second squeeze is as impressed into the die, but sometimes, or at least in this case, it is. So you have letters that are actually the same height, the same width, the same shape, everything. You can see, and I know some people said they have trouble seeing my cursor here. I don't know how to enlarge the cursor without affecting other areas, but bear with me. You can literally see an opening here because of the spread. This double die, this particular double die, has a large spread. People get it confused whenever the spread is not this large. But you can see how there's a completely almost two, let's say, different 9s, 1, 7. And not only that, when you come over to the Liberty as well, you can also see the same thing. It's almost blurry, but you have a B, an L, the E is real obvious. And the reason is that you have the die rotated counterclockwise, clockwise. Basically, this is clockwise, it looks. The reason for that is that the first squeeze, okay, so you got your master hub, it creates your master dies, then your master dies create the working hubs, then the working hubs create the working dies. The working dies strike the coins, okay? One of the reasons this is one of the more valuable is because only the working die was doubled. If you have a master hub that's doubled, or master die that's doubled, it will create all kinds of doubled working hubs and working dies. And it'll make it a more common double die that is not worth that much because you can find them all the time. Well, this one, the first squeeze happened, and then for whatever reason, a Mint employee had to adjust or remove or replace the working hub. And when they did that, they offset a little bit, clockwise or counterclockwise. And they created that second impression and didn't catch the fact that they were off milliseconds. I mean, just millimeters here or smaller. I mean, it's just barely off, not enough to really notice until you start striking the coins and you realize, hold up, I did something wrong here. I installed this die incorrectly in the wrong position. So that die, when it struck this coin, was already doubled. It's very important to know all of these things when you're looking at a double die and to understand this is your class 1 and there are 9 different classes. And you need to know those. And going over to wexlersdoubledie.com is a perfect way to learn about this and how the dies are created, how they start out from the design to actually being cut out from the lathe or engraved, and then, you know, the whole, like I said, the master hub and the master die and a working hub and a working die. It's important to know that. So let's look at a few more images, because I took these in hoping that everyone could see that even if this was not as counterclockwise rotated, that it would still be thicker, the lettering would be, because this is a more obvious double die. Most double dies are not this obvious. And like I said, there's other classes of double dies. Here's another image of the date, and we'll see how we can get this large as we can without distortion. So it's kind of distorted here, but it's pretty big size, and you can still see the numbers here, and you can still make out what they are. But it's be hard to mistake this for strike double or mechanical doubling or whatever you want to call it, because one of these would be flat looking. Trust me, this is rounded off. I mean, you can see it. They're almost exactly the same. Here is an example of, let's go up on the trust here and look at this. I mean, look at the space. So here's an example of a 1972 that is actually strike doubled. Okay, you can see the difference in this. I can blow it up. It's not as clear. Might be able to fix that a little bit, maybe enhance it a little bit. Shake reduction here. It might pixelate it, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll give it a chance. Yeah, it's a little odd. I know when people are looking at these coins, some people are a little colorblind or full-blown colorblind. Some people's depth perception is off, and to them this might look the same as what I just showed you, but it does not. You could actually, if you was small enough, you could set your hind end on this and not roll off. But you come over here to this right here, and you can literally see that it's not the same. I mean, it's almost like a hillside or let's say a berm of some sort. That's not the case here. It's flat. That's because the inside, the edge of that die cavity, because the die was not completely, let's say, tightened down, it jarred just a little bit during the strike. It actually scraped away from the 9 and the 7 and the 2. You see it. That created what they call a shelf-like appearance. We can actually copy this and come over here to this and paste it on top and compare it that way. And I think we'll just resize it here, try to make it about the same size. Looking at it, I mean, it's different. You can see the difference. I mean, if I don't know really how to explain it any more plainly than to show you side by side. Here's the flat shelf like, and here's the double die. There's no mistake in it. If your coin looks like this, it is not the double die if it looks like this right here. Not even close. Even if it's up here or on the sides, it's not. It's not the FS101. It's not a double die at all. It has to be thicker. It actually took away metal from this. It actually smashed metal from it. It's actually damaged, really. So we have a normal image of a 72. I know it looks a little bit blurry in this image, but let's take a look here. I'll show you something. There's a reason why it looks that way, because I have it set up as an overlay, and we'll make it completely opaque here. So now you can see the coin itself. This is what the coin looks like. I have it a little offset, as you can see. So we can fix that. We'll straighten it up. So we have one coin image over another coin image here. That's what we have. And I'm doing this for a reason, because to kind of show you, and we'll get a little bit closer on the date, and that'll help out a whole lot to see what we're talking about here. Just trying to zoom in and see that this is a normal date right here. So what happens is when I want to rotate it, I have to show underneath, the coin underneath. So when I do that, you can see that there's a little bit of a blur because they're not completely aligned. So let's try to do this. Let's see if we can see. Okay, there we go. Do you see how it looks kind of similar to the double die now? Only in a sense that there's a little bit of a shadow. But let's fix that. Let's see if we can make it darker. A little bit closer to what the double die looked like. But that's basically what you're looking at here. You're looking at two coins almost, because the die was actually squeezed twice. So you have two impressions of this coin design, and then it strikes the coins. That's what you're looking for when you're looking for double dies. You're not looking for that flat shelf like. You're never going to find that as a double die. And a lot of people ask me, well, are they worth money? Well, you can get on eBay and see people do collect some of the strike double coins. But just remember, you're not buying a double die, or you're not buying a chance at a double die when you do that. So with that, let's take a look at some of these coins, a little more information about double dies. So here's coppercoins.com, and as I showed you in that previous video, I shared it in the community as a post yesterday. There are 10 on each one of these pages, and there's 3 pages, so there's at least 30. 30 listed here that you can look for, but what's important is how much the value is listed for circulated coins, because most of you are going to be looking at circulated coins. So this here, for instance, is the 104. That's one of them you want to look for. Look how much it's worth. Fine 12, it's 150 bucks. The one that I was showing you is the FS 101, and they have that, listed here as well, but you'd have to go through the pages. Here it is right here. It's a class 1, like I said, and fine 12 is worth 50 bucks. Here's another one worth something, but 002. But you want to make sure that you are looking up the coins that are worth the money, because you're going to drive yourself nuts looking for all these master die doubled, master hub doubled examples, and they are numerous. I don't know what happened in 72, but they sure in the world created more double dies than almost any year. So you can come over here to Copper Coins and do a die variety search and check this out, and look at the different, he's got different die marks and all these listed here that you can take a look at. CONECA Variety Vista has some great images as well. And here's Variety Vista right here, and has some of the, and here's another, the 72D also. So you've got the 72 no mint mark, which just means Philadelphia. There was no mint mark on a 1972 Philadelphia minted cent. Actually, that goes for all of them but 2017. So that doesn't make them rare. Wexler's double die, I don't know, you've got to literally come over here. If you have not come over here to doubledie.com and read this, shame on you. If you watch my videos all the time and you've not bothered to come over here and read this, I don't understand that, because this right here will teach you. Once you learn how this stuff happens, you will be leaps and bounds wasting a lot less time figuring these out. But you've got to read it, then watch the videos on it. Audio, visual, all of it together. Then why don't you put together a lesson plan and act like you're going to teach your children, or teach stuffed animals, whatever you have to do. That will help you retain this knowledge so that you can find double dies and actually find something. So here's PCGS is another thing to think about. If you're looking for double dies and you're thinking about having them graded, they have to be listed over here, or PCGS won't put them on the label. So make sure the double die you're looking for is listed over here at PCGS or even on NGC. I think ANACS, ANACS, they will actually grade most double dies, but you might want to call them and ask them which ones they do or don't and how they'll label it. I think they do attribute more, though. So with that, let's take a look at the double die that broke the record for, it's the value here, which is the 72. The one I was showing you, not the coin that I have, but this is a coin that sold in 2019. It's the FS101 that we just examined closely. Mint state 67 plus red. It sold for $14,400. And the reason it sold that is because it's in this holder. The reason that coin sold for that much is only because it's in this label. Your coin can look exactly like this coin and never attain this value. This coin could resell and not sell for that much again. It may sell for more. But the point of it is it needs to be graded. You have to send your coins off. You go to CONECA and have them attributed if you don't know how to do it. It's hard to do some of these in images because some people can't even take good images in the first place, let alone trying to attribute which die variety you have. CONECA, there's some people there that accept emails and also submissions, and they will help attribute your coin. The authors of error-ref.com website also, and Paul, who is a member and an admin of my help community, also will accept some submissions, and you can send him an email or ask him. So thanks for watching my latest video. I hope this helped you with double dies and which double dies to look for. You have to figure out which ones are going to be worth money that are circulated so that you're not wasting time just looking for anything. Now, if you like just looking for any double die and you're having fun, that is great. But so many people just seem to want to that value out of it. They want to know about if they can sell their coins. And, the coins have to be worth money, and a price guide and attributing the proper die variety, that will help you with that question. So please like, share, and comment, and have a great day.